Usually when we work with clients, it's a lot more of a longer tailored process, but this we obviously have 12 weeks to get like a maximum amount of body recomposition or result. So yeah, we're just, I guess, excited to see who can progress the most in this time.
Hi, my name is Ross Gilmore. So I'm going to be coaching Ray as part of Team Shero through this 12-week challenge.
My name is Malin, and I'm going to be coaching Jessie, and we are Team Shero.
And we are co-founders of Better Body Collective. Ray had decided, at least in the first 4 to 6 weeks, to go with what they call a German body composition approach to training. Well, why we use GBC is that it's a very energy expensive type of training. It kind of alternates between upper and lower extremity movements. If I had a bit longer with Ray, I maybe wouldn't use something so aggressive, but given the time frame that we have, I really want to drive as much results in that first 4 to 6 weeks as I possibly can.
In terms of Jessie's approach, Jessie is someone who has already many years of training behind her. She's got a good amount of muscle on her already. She's been doing powerlifting in the past, CrossFit, strong woman type trainings. Now, obviously within these 12 weeks, the goal is to achieve optimal body recomposition. So with Jessie, we're taking lower volume, but we're going to have a little bit more of a higher intensity approach with Jessie, primarily because she knows how to push hard. She's strong already, so she can go in and work really, really hard.
So I had to take on all of the information I got from Ray's onboarding questionnaire, and so I've had to take into account like what's his activity been like over lockdown, and then what's going to be realistic for him to do around his kind of current lifestyle as we go back into the gym. Because his activity was low, he was following a bit more of a ketogenic diet approach, which I've got absolutely no issues with that. However, when someone wants to train hard, especially if they're doing a lot of resistance training, nutrition has to match the activity demands. And so with Ray, the biggest consideration was looking at, right, well, we want to create that calorie deficit, we want to manage overall stress, but we actually need to give him the resources he needs to be able to actually get the most out of his training.
The main consideration with Jessie is that also she's obviously female, so we don't want to generally go out too aggressive with females as we can do with guys, because we have to consider their hormonal cycles, making sure that she stays healthy throughout this process. So I'd rather start off a little bit less aggressive, using the diet more as a method to push her into a deficit, because we want her to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose body fat, but we need to manage recovery and the recovery demands as well as health.
So Ray, well, there's a few, but to start at the top, I guess the biggest thing for him is his current lifestyle. He's obviously, co-owner or co-founder of Generation Strong with Jessie, and so he places quite a high amount of expectations on himself. He has a hugely high work demand. He works hard, he works long hours, and what he's kind of fell into a pattern of, especially over lockdown, is he's sleeping very, very late. Like, he's pretty much going to bed when most of us are getting up in the morning. So I think one of the biggest challenges for Ray, very simply, is going to be altering his lifestyle to actually not only benefit his health overall, but actually to get the most out of this whole process. I'll be working with Ray on things like his organisation, on prioritising himself a bit more, and that's not going to be easy. It's not something we're going to do overnight. It'll have to be tapered gradually over the course of the challenge, probably. And then outside of that, for Ray, it's going to be, I think, also just changing his current eating habits. He's been in a very fixed way of eating for a long time, and he's also, I think, getting him to fully trust the process and almost hand the reins fully over to me and allow me to guide him throughout that. That will probably be his two biggest challenges.
What's really good about Jessie is that she already have a lot of the baseline habits in place, like when it comes to sleep. She has a fairly consistent routine. She's already really organized. I think her biggest challenge though is probably going to be more to do with the food than the training. But I think the food thing is like during lockdown, and she would bake a cake and just eat the full cake over the course of that day. I think for her is going from, having gone through now a few months of like eating more than she really needs to now going into a calorie deficit. And by having, a calorie target, a protein target, as long as she knows what she's aiming for and that direction, I think she'll be doing really, really well. The training is, I guess, a new approach for her, so it might be a little bit challenging to like follow a set program, to not change things up as much as she used to, but I think she's enjoying it. As long as I can keep it enjoyable for her, I think she'll be progressing. I think she'll be happy.
So the thing is I think Ray probably coming into this is probably the underdog. Because what I do know about Ray is that he has an incredible work ethic, and he really sacrificed a lot when he last stepped on stage to do his physique show, which a lot of people, I suppose, I don't necessarily fully know about, but he's done some pretty crazy things to get to great shape. Where I think Ray will potentially win is if he can dial into that sort of work ethic and mindset, but he can combine that work ethic with me giving him that balance of a little bit more sensible and a little bit more structured and scientific, then I think he's got an incredible chance of winning it.
Well, obviously not Ray.
Oh, there we go.
That's kind of clear. I'm going to win. No,
Consent?
no, it's not going to happen. Just no, Jessie, she's really hit the ground running already. We've not even started yet. She's already smashing it. I think Jessie has a very strong chance here, for sure. Team Shero all the way.
You know what, listen, we're also professionals as well, so we see this as a bit of a team effort. Like, as much as Ray, I'm working with Ray and Miles working with Jessie, I guess we're both, just the way we work as a collective, that's the whole company name, is that we are both supporting both of them, but I'll be a little bit disappointed if we don't.
I think the competitiveness is definitely stronger between Jessie and Ray, potentially, but of course, it's as a team, it should be. But yeah, I think...
No conflict as yet, but...
we don't know, it's early days, so ask us again in a few weeks.
Exactly,
we'll see.
check in 6 weeks and we'll let you know.
Well, we're comparing progress photos and like, Jessie! It's like...
Because I'm also incredibly competitive now.
You are very...
Not so much, but I think that might change.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm still gonna win.
Talk is cheap.
Let's see. It won't be secret if we share them now, would it?
Just take the ones right out of my mouth. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve if things are not quite moving, or if we need to get a bit of an edge. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. But like Mal said, it's not secret, but it doesn't stay secret. So
yeah, I might have a few tricks up my sleeve as well. Thank you very much.
There you go.
I have to think of some.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a contrast, isn't it? Because listen, our kind of, I suppose, whole coaching approach is based on this longer term. It's based on multiple phases. It's based on, a fat loss phase for most people. And actually, if you even look at a competition prep, most competition preps are 16 to 20 weeks in length. So, to really get lean, like, first of all, you probably have to be starting off already in a good body composition. And probably both of these guys are actually not where you'd be to start a competition prep. They're away from that. So I think if there's one message we could hopefully get across, is like, it's kind of like a double-barreled thing. It's like, well, look at what you can achieve in 12 weeks. However, also delivering the message at the same time that you might be able to get really far in 12 weeks, but that's just a part of the journey. It's part of a bigger, much bigger picture. So take on like the fact that they have to do a bodybuilding show afterwards. Well, I think the stakes are
high. It would be Jessie's version of hell, like, I think.
Whereas Ray's done it before.
Ray's done it before, so. Jessie hasn't done it, but I think Jessie, she's such an all-round, like, she's dabbled in so many different things. So I think this is one thing, like, if she were to do that, like, as a coach, like, she's a great coach already, but I think if she were to do this, she will get a lot from this. She's already competed in performance and strength, but she hasn't done this. So I think for her, it could, I'm now saying, like, I'm hoping she'll lose, so she'll do the competition, but I don't. But I think it would be actually really good for her. But let's take it one step at a time, and
For me, for Ray, what I think is going to be a great aspect of the challenge, if this can give him enough momentum to kind of then push his way towards that maintenance, that lifestyle, physique and health and everything that goes with it, then that would be for me the big victory.
Yeah, I think it's the same for Jessie. Like, it's just about to her to get her initially to a point where she's happy, she's healthy, which over the lockdown period, I think both of them have kind of, not neglected their health, but just put themselves. They've not prioritized their health as much as they should. So this is why they're doing this challenge to, like, put their health first and make it a fun thing at the same time.
And the best part of that is that if they get healthier, more energetic, they start to enjoy their training a bit more, they have a focus outside of work, they'll actually show up into that area of their life and all other areas of life much better versions of themselves. They'll show up to their family better, they'll show up to their work better, they'll have more energy, more vibrancy, more creativity. So yeah, That's what we hope is going to be the bigger picture outcome of this.
After we've kicked your ass,
Sure.
smoked you, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.